In '99, when I was ordained, it was about the same point when the crisis about having the low number of clergy under 40 within the UCC really began to become clear. John Thomas wrote a letter, compelling letter that was in UC News, writing about this crisis and writing about the ways that the UCC really needed to think about it, really needed to take a look at it, about it. Ralph Quellhorst, who was then the conference minister for the Ohio Conference, was someone who also echoed these sentiments in the things that he wrote to the Ohio Conference at that same place and time. Some of us who were in that age group, in that age category, approached Ralph and said, this is something we want to work on. This is something we want to do something about. And Ralph listened to us carefully and deeply and offered up space at the camps to meet on a regular basis at no charge, at no cost for us, in order to begin to have that conversation about the ways that we could bond and work together and the ways that we could be in leadership in the wider church. We met again the next year, and when we met again the next year, all but two of us were involved in wider church work. There was the invitation from the wider church, there was the invitation from Ralph Quellhorst, and this invitation encouragement that we were given the space to build amongst ourselves in order to figure out ways to be an effective and an integral part of the United Church of Christ. All of that, none of that wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for the gifts of OCWM that people in local churches all throughout the UCC gave. None of that would have been possible if it wasn't for that concern that those who are provided for the church on behalf of all of the local churches through OCWM, if they hadn't reached out and offered these places, offered these opportunities, and offered these words of comfort and information to the wider church. All of that was because of OCWM. And one of the reasons that I'm a conference minister today is directly related to those initial meetings, those initial conversations, where I began to recognize that leadership within the church was something that was a possibility, could be a probability, and was something that I wanted to give my life to.